mayoral candidate will be on the general election ballot despite an attempt to block her candidacy by an ally of current Mayor Tiffany Henyard, who is
a mayoral candidate being challenged. The saga surrounding embattled South suburban politician Tiffany Henyard.
Tiffany Henyard's political career has been a whirlwind of drama, controversy, and contentious decisions. The self-described super mayor of Dolton is currently making headlines again, this time with a new group of allies who are all women, in what appears to be a desperate bid to hold on to power. Given the escalating problems, ongoing federal investigations, and Henyard's fast declining reputation, the company's most recent step raises serious concerns. Is this a planned comeback? Or is this just another stage of the turmoil surrounding her leadership? Hold on tight. This is a complex and captivating story.
Tiffany Henyard was not at the hearing here today. Neither was her attorney, and she was not made available for a comment.
Let us set the scenario. Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dolton and the supervisor of Thornton Township, has been embroiled in scandal ever since she took office. From claims of financial mismanagement to an ongoing federal investigation into taxpayer-funded luxury travel and questionable spending linked to her own group, Henyard's reputation has taken a serious knock. Despite the controversies, she is boldly positioning herself as the leader Dolton needs while running for re-election, despite the fact that many residents believe she is the last person suitable for the job. What she did most recently was assemble an all-female ragtag crew to help her fight to keep her position of power. On paper, it seems like a bold and empowering strategy. Actually, it is creating more uncertainty than certainty. Critics claim the choice is a clear attempt to deflect attention from Henyard's own escalating problems and is more about appearances than qualifications. The enthusiasm surrounding her all-female team is being dismissed by her opponents as a calculated attempt to change public perception and maintain her already vulnerable political standing. Some residents have even charged her of exploiting these women as simply props in a larger diversionary scheme. If she thinks that gathering a group of women will help us forget about the negative balance in the village's bank account, she's got another thing coming. A Dolton resident stated during a heated town hall meeting, social media discussions on Henyard's new team are laced with humor and sarcasm, demonstrating this skepticism. One user derisively called the group the super squad of excuses, expressing the growing frustration of many who think the move is just a desperate attempt to shift the topic. The issue is that Henyard's strategy might work for some voters. She is using a narrative of success and resilience by joining an all-female team, which could resonate with those who feel underrepresented in local politics. It's a wise tactic, especially in a political climate where voters are attracted to leaders who promise inclusivity and change. Critics retort that Henyard's actions and words don't match. This isn't about empowerment. One political analyst noted, it's related to survival. Since Henyard is aware that the controversies have damaged her reputation, she is trying to disassociate herself from them by repositioning herself as a supporter of women. What makes this even more intriguing is the stark contrast between Henyard's public statements and her real leadership style. Despite her presentation of her staff as a bunch of powerful women ready to transform Dolton, residents are still enduring the effects of her administration's financial mismanagement. Unresolved issues, ranging from hidden costs to allegations of taxpayer-funded misuse, have many questioning whether Henyard's new team is a genuine attempt at transformation or just political window dressing.
Again, no comment from Mayor Tiffany Henyard. Voters here will first head to the polls in February for the primary election, then the general mayoral election.
Henyard's list of contenders includes Tina Hughes, Vanessa Wesco, Jocelyn King, and Linda Terrell, all of whom are vying for key roles in Dolton's administration. Although everyone has a unique background, their qualifications, or lack thereof, are already being scrutinized. Take Linda Terrell, for example. She is described as a certified educator with decades of experience in Illinois banking, yet her CV raises more concerns than it provides answers. She claims to have lived in Dolton for 35 years, although she only says she has been in Illinois for 30 years. Either she has figured out the time travel secret, or someone failed to proofread her credentials, not to mention the biography's grammatical errors, which further reinforce critics' accusations that Henyard is hanging around with unsuitable people. Jocelyn King, who describes herself as the overseer of 8 departments and a $20 million annual budget for Thornton Township, comes next. Overseer. The term itself has drawn a lot of harsh online criticism, with many people questioning whether it's just a fancy way of being in the same building as the departments she claims to be in charge of. The mayor's vague and inflated credentials, which appear to have been lifted straight out of Henyard's playbook, make one wonder if she was involved in creating King's biography.
She's one of the most recognizable faces that's been on the news lately. I'm talking about the mayor of Dalton, Tiffany Henyard.
And all of social media.
Yes,
She's
yes.
everywhere. Our very own Regina Waldrop has been following all the drama as it unfolds. And she's here with us to talk about a new documentary.
In addition to the controversy surrounding Henyard, despite boasting that she is the youngest and first female mayor of Dalton, she has had a difficult time in office. Scandals have followed her around, ranging from allegations of embezzlement to allegations of unaccounted for funds, like the infamous $40,000 spent on Amazon shopping in a single day. Her administration has been characterized by financial instability. In fact, former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot launched an investigation that turned up a shocking $35 million deficit in Dalton's general budget, in what many see as a desperate attempt to deflect attention from the chaos she has left behind. Henyard remains undeterred and keeps going with a new group. Speaking of deflection, her critics have not been spared their suspicions by her latest batch of supporters. According to one online user, anyone who would get on a ticket with her is deemed to be suspect. And is it really their fault? Supporting Henyard now feels more like a career catastrophe than a well-thought-out choice because of how toxic her reputation is. Another comment perfectly captured the public's discontent. Have I missed something? How in the world is this woman not behind bars and on the run once more? It is a reasonable question given the plethora of controversies involving Henyard, from allegations of voter suppression in Thornton Township to the alleged embezzlement of public funds.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Wow.
Let's talk about the title of this, because it's called Super Mayor, and that is what Tiffany Henyard calls herself.
The mistrust is increased by the ambiguity surrounding Henyard's team selection procedure. Unlike most candidates who emphasize the qualities and screening process of their running mates, Henyard has not remarked on the reasoning for the selection of these particular women. This has led to speculation that the deciding factor was loyalty rather than talent. When your leadership is failing, you choose followers rather than opponents, said a political strategist familiar with Dalton politics. The apparent lack of merit-based selection has raised more questions than ever before about whether Henyard's team is truly equipped to deal with the hamlet's mounting issues. However, Henyard's fans are not the only ones who criticize him. The mayor herself is still being criticized for her leadership of the Thornton Township Democratic Caucus. Her sudden removal off the township supervisor ballot dealt a terrible blow to her political ambitions. In response, Henyard filed a lawsuit, claiming that the caucus was illegal and filled with voter suppression. Critics respond that this is just another example of her whining when she doesn't get what she wants. The caucus leader and eventual Democratic candidate, State Senator Napoleon Harris, categorically denied Henyard's claims and called the complaint garbage.
In Thornton Township and in Dalton, except in one case, Tiffany Henyard wants on a ballot, while in another, a Henyard ally was looking to keep her opponent off.
But Henyard remains stubborn. The people will put me on the ballot, she declared. But will they? That is the key question as Dalton moves into its next election cycle. Henyard's opponents, including current village trustee Jason House, are positioning themselves as the moral alternative to her scandal-plagued administration. House has been on the board for 8 years and has spent his whole life in Dalton. He has pledged to prioritize ethics reform and restore community trust, two areas where Henyard's leadership has fallen short. it is likely that Henyard's issues with the federal government will only worsen. The ongoing investigation into her office has exposed a troubling pattern of questionable spending, from lavish taxpayer-funded outings to a poorly attended concert that nonetheless managed to rack up an incredible $85,000 price tag. Her cancer foundation has also been accused of failing to disclose its expenditures, which has led to fresh accusations that Henyard is more focused on personal enrichment than on serving her constituents. As issues continue to surface and rivals gain ground, the question is not only whether Henyard can win re-election, but also if she can withstand the political storm she has created. Tiffany Henyard's political future ultimately depends on whether or not Dolton residents are willing to overlook her controversies and give her another shot. With the help of her new employees, she might be able to communicate a feeling of change and development. But for many, it's simply too little, too late. In the words of one outraged person, all this crap isn't getting the real business done. We need action. Someone who will actually work for the people. And now for the important question, can Tiffany Henyard and her all-female team make a difference? Or is this just another chapter in a long story of political unrest? Will Dolton voters be swayed by her exaggerated background and questionable credentials? Or will they believe her? This election will undoubtedly rank among the most spectacular in Dolton's history. No doubt about that. Everyone will also be keeping an eye on Henyard to see if she drowns her lives. What do you think? Is Henyard's latest move a genuine attempt at progress or just another political smokescreen? Kindly provide your thoughts in the space provided for comments below. The drama is far from over, so we'll be here to give you the latest updates as this story unfolds. Watch out.